epic. Screw you.
Right.
So like that, those skeletons served their purpose, and we had an epic moment. I'm happy. I mean, I would have been happier if I had actually killed Shagget, but you know.
I went to start viewing, the episode last, and it pulls up, and like the first thing I hear is, "So just in case there's a TPK, I am prepared." I'm just like, "Oh, good."
It's a great way to start an adventure, isn't it?
And the best part of that is that my preparation for the TPK actually isn't attached to any specific encounter, so I'm actually good to TPK you guys next time.
Oh, good. That's all right then.
Hey, maybe I'll actually do something next time.
Okay. Clearly, I just
Considering the NPC and an absent Satchmo did more than me.
obviously I just need to drop the particles on.
Yeah, Satchmo
so
wasn't here and he did more than you
Here, he
did.
did more.
That's so sad.
But never mind.
So there was a lot of shenanigans with the magic carpet.
There's 2 dead bodies right here that I dug out of the swamp, out of the green sludge.
That was Ma and Pa Cena.
Oh.
They didn't make it. They were killed and prepared for rituals by Sarah.
Did we ever know their first? Did we ever know their first names? Not that we did we?
Did I not declare their names were John and Jenny Cena?
Yeah.
They were John Cena, really? Okay.
Johnny Cena. Come on, calm down. Trademark.
Johnny
All right.
Johnny and Jenny Cena.
If you push me for names, this is what you will get. All right. This was my solution to like the players be like, "Oh yeah, what's the stable boy's name?" And for a while, literally everybody's name was Jimmy, and I was just like, "Yeah, his name is Jimmy. Her name is Jimmy. His name is Jimmy." Like
Jimmy the stable person.
Deep in the dark recesses of Jimmy Forest.
So, Rankin are still alive because he was sewn into the ground.
Well, I cut him free.
Yeah, Rankin is free. He is mostly unharmed. He's just terrified.
Yep.
Okay.
Like whatever the fuck she did to him. I mean, she's a necrophist. She has fear spells, right? So she must have scared the bejesus out of this donkey because he's being very docile and not comfortable and safe right now. But the sewing that was done was not. She didn't like wound him into submission. She just sewed him onto those patches, and he was so scared of her that he didn't freak. He was more terrified of her than he was of the pain from the needles. He is mostly okay.
Those kind of animals, prey animals, when their adrenaline goes up, their pain threshold.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. So 2 dead bodies here. I had gone
to be collected.
I had gone round the corner here.
Give me the loot.
And saw all the loots. Reclaimed my loots, but we hadn't really discussed that. So after going back up and making sure Rankin's okay, I will say we found the bodies of those that lived in the house with that strange spirit. Unfortunately, they are already deceased, and there is also a large quantity of stuff around the corner down the stair.
What do you mean stuff?
This way, I'll show you.
Okay.
Well, I'm not really into material things, but I'll take a look out of curiosity.
Alrighty, and I will lead them down here.
I have to run a session that doesn't have auto in it.
And show them the large quantity of stash in the corner.
Do you think we could take this up to help people in the town?
Possibly. Depends on what it is, Dudley, I suppose.
Well, let me find out. I'm gonna hop in there, see if anything is easy to open, the crates.
All right, who wants to be the sucker that we all get to be mad at for bad loot rolls?
We are nominated Satch for not being here last week.
I've elected.
Yes, set.
That's a good idea, yeah.
And this is where we get mad at the old 3.5 DMG layout, because I believe they put generating treasure on the opposite end of the book from all of the tables where that treasure is then generated.
Absolutely.
No, 3.5!
The prices I pay for having a functional index, even if occasionally they reference you to the index 3 times over. I'll never forget. I forget. I was looking up. I'll never forget. I forget. I was looking up some rule. and it was, I think it had to do with like paralyzed or some condition that was relevant to using swarms. And I looked up a rule because I didn't know what the mechanic was in the index, and it was like, oh, go to this page. I was like, oh, okay,
thanks for the
that
reset,
page?
buddy.
And it said, oh, go to this other page. It was 3 references deep. I eventually did get it, but instead of just like
What's up,
the
bud?
actual rule, like I bounced
Take your
around
pants
and
off,
it
hit your
came
heart.
wrong. All right.
Wiggle.
It's like
So,
a Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure book.
Sad boy, I needed to be rolling D100s.
Okay, how many?
Let's open the dice
I'll
panel.
start with one. I'll just.
Yeah, let me do that.
Oh, yeah, let's open the dice panel before you start with one.
There you go.
All right, let her rip.
Here goes the rip.
Rip.
It's a 3. Oh,
38.
A 38.
Is there a
Wait.
higher, lower thing, or does it not matter? It's just
Oh, no, this is
Random.
actually a D100 table.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
So give me a 2D8.
That'll be something lower down on the alphabet.
On me.
Here they are.
Ooh.
Numbers. Big.
All right. So there is a. You guys have time to like eyeball it and count. So as you're like parceling stuff out, there'll be 800 gold pieces.
Okay,
Alrighty.
I'll write this all down.
Jane
You
can,
remember
yeah.
I do track weight,
Yep.
but I believe we haven't even come anywhere close to even including the halfling, the 200 limit on the flying carpet.
No.
All right. So give me another D100.
Good to see you, Skinner. Take it easy, buddy.
Here's to another.
Ooh, 2.
wow.
All right. You find nothing of value in the goods department. Give me another D100.
Oh, what? That was bad?
Yeah. He just wasted a roll. 53.
Ooh. Give me 1D4.
Yeah.
Uno.
Dinner.
You get a minor magical item.
Oh boy.
So it's a
Now I
pickaxe or possibly a helmet with a light on it.
You'd say that, but like you can,
sunglasses that you can change the words on.
it's possible to roll as much as a +2 weapon on a
Yeah.
Two
on a
weapons.
minor roll. Like I wouldn't
Roll
say-
really well now. Roll really, really well now.
All right, the higher the better. Give it to me. Give it to me. Nice and D100, Sam.
Rock Lobster, thank you. Appreciate it, dude.
Hey, thanks, Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Higher the better. 14. Yay.
It's years.
It's a potion.
Of poo.
Wow, Satch, your rolls are really bad. Shame on you.
I can't believe that this is like your
Ah.
rolls. This is how your rolls would have been last session.
I would never roll like this.
Take your pants off, hit the hype. Thanks for the resub, Brock.
Give me D100.
Now.
Much love.
Wait, what kind of potion?
Oh,
what we're
that's for
gonna
us to
find
find out.
1D100.
Do you guys have access to identify magical items?
I could steal it from someone.
if they have it.
So they have to have it for you to steal it to use it.
Yeah, we could go
Does-
to someone who
Does
has
Does Rankin have it?
Does Rankin have it?
Yeah, Rankin has it for sure.
I don't know. Maybe he's a wise ass
He's got a
mule. I don't-
+10 will save.
Yeah. He might have seen it before. He's,
Okay.
I
well
have
tra-
it identified, but I don't have it now.
he's a well traveled.
Okay, so you'll know what this potion does when you prepare and blow that spell slot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll for me.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
37.
or gold.
Woohoo!
It is a milky white potion that is like
Milk.
through it. It looks like almost translucent milk, and inside of it you can see there is an even brighter white roiling cloud.
All right, Snugs, ask the question that we all know you're thinking. Is it creamy? Come on.
I was gonna ask. No, I was gonna ask how much protein is in it. What percentage fat? Is it skim? 2%.
All right, because you asked the correct question, I will give you. I'll give you a hint. It has +2 protein in it.
Ooh.
Plus 2 protein.
You're welcome for me.
I don't know about white protein. That's
Right.
yours. I think you can have that
Go
one.
on to the next item.
It's clearly soy milk. That is the only item. You get the gold, and the potion. That's all you rolled.
That's all that's in all these 18 crates.
Okay, so that's what would have happened if we'd have let Satch roll. Now let's see what really happens when Snug does the actual roll.
What would have happened? What you will find?
Oh no, you messed up the order of things, Matt.
Matt.
Yeah.
All right,
Where'd you go?
What'd I do?
Messed
Your camera
up.
went off. So
It did?
So now we got to rearrange everybody.
Everybody off.
Everybody turn your cameras off.
I
All right.
don't know why.
Okay, first me.
Shag
Done.
then me, then Matt,
Okay.
we, Satch.
There you go.
Okay.
Sorry, folks, this is a new thing we have to do because Zoom is
Rearrange
better than
the cameras.
Skype. And instead of having to recapture crap, all we got to do is reorder things. So,
It's pretty quick, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
way
Saves
fast.
A lot of trouble. It'd be great if you could just like save a layout with everybody's camera where you wanted to, but no.
No, they don't want you to do that.
So what the rest of the crates will be filled with supplies that have since lost their reliability. Like, there will be rations, but they seem to have gone a little bad. Or there's water and you don't really want to drink that because it's a little right, or like untrustworthy looking rope. So there's a whole bunch of stuff, but most of it comes with that the prefix on its name that tells you that you don't want it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Look, this was once a crate of fresh vegetables. Looks more like mush now.
That's too bad. I'm gonna pick up the potion. This looks familiar. Do you know what this is?
You've shown it to me?
Yeah.
In all seriousness, I'll take it and hold it up to the I'll hold it up to the long sword, the light of the long sword.
I don't know where I've seen it before.
It's white and cloudy. Probably could be a bottle of milk. It's probably sour if it is. Smell it.
Oh, gross. Here you go. I'm gonna hand that to you. There's a lot of gold here, so.
Yes, everybody. There is a large quantity of coinage down here. We should all claim any that you wish to have. Come and take your share.
Guys!
I'm not taking any. I instead am going to go back over to the two bodies and start figuring out how heavy I think they are and how easy they're going to be to hoist up the rope.
They are not laborers. They are management. So they are not particularly heavy. They are not, they're not overfed. It's almost like they didn't want to gorge themselves on crappy potatoes every day.
Oh, really? Oh.
And so they're actually, it looks like they could have actually stood to eat a damn sandwich.
What state of decomposition are they? Do they look squidgy?
They've only been killed in the past 24 hours.
Okay, so they're still... If I pick them up and start to move them around, they're not like... I'm not going to pull a leg out of a socket or...
Correct.
Have juice everywhere. Okay.
The juice.
No, people juice.
I'm not going to, rip their leg off by accident or have the juice everywhere.
Oberdon. There's
yes.
more crates behind us.
Crates? Where?
Well, right south of me.
Oh. Well, perhaps we should investigate those, too.
Right south of me.
All right. Yeah, there is a large quantity of crates down here, so...
A dwarf would, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. They
But
They know underground.
I just mean it's a funny way instead of it's right behind me. It's right south of me. It's way funnier.
It's downwind of
All right.
them.
I'm feeling generous, but Sash is not allowed to roll anymore. So,
All right.
I'll show you.
is it El Shagoto?
No, he said you're not allowed to roll anymore, Satch, and that's why.
Can I roll because I didn't do anything last time?
Yeah, you roll.
Yes.
I'm okay with you rolling.
All
It's a
right.
mistake thing to say.
I know. You're gonna regret
Because
this.
I didn't do anything last week.
I know. I'll stop with that guilt trip now.
Didn't do
Moving
anything.
forward.
It,
Shut up, Jay.
he calls it a guilt trip as if I give it.
I didn't do anything wrong, and I still got the shaft.
All right, what's your
D100?
yeah,
D100? All right, here we go, baby.
68. That's a little better.
68. Give me 2d8.
Oh yay!
What was that?
More gold.
1,000 gold
Jesus.
So we have now 1,800 gold.
plus whatever was in the skull. I trust you guys actually took those notes.
What you just told us 5 minutes ago, or
No, a couple sessions ago.
no?
Yeah, we totally took notes.
I got him.
Okay, good, because I was just...
In the skull thingy that we found,
Yeah, I got those.
Yeah, you also had the shield.
I got the shield.
Yeah, you got the shield. There was the skull, and there was the,
Carpet.
and there were
Well-
4 gems.
Hero doesn't take any gold, so it's all on you guys.
Nobody takes gold.
He's
I-
a foul poverty, man.
I take gold.
Tips.
All right,
Tip the
another
DM with
100,
gold.
or are we done?
Oh, keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
Don't stop. Ooh, baby.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's good.
Better roll.
I'll take it.
Give me that D4.
Aw.
Uno.
An art item.
Oh, great.
And this is the big one. This is the one that you want a 97 on.
All right.
All right,
Come on, Shaggy.
97 or higher.
97 or higher is the Mona
Do I have
Lisa.
inspiration?
27. Oh, that's the 7.
Sorry.
All right, so you get an art item. So
A sketchbook.
give me D100.
Give me.
A children's
A
sketchbook
children's coloring book.
of
Oh,
10.
son of a monkey.
With half the pages already scribbled
Give me
on by a
1d10.
2-year-old.
What is this? What are you doing to me, man? Oh, thank God it's not a 1.
5.
All right, so you will find you'll find a very, very fancy coat.
Oh.
Fancy coat.
It's worth an estimate of 50 gold.
fancy
Oh,
coat.
yay.
How big is the coat?
Yeah.
And did it come from a thrift store?
No, it definitely didn't come from a thrift store. It's very nice. It's a very fancy coat.
Okay.
It's one of the few garments that managed to survive all the blood, stabbing, ritual, darkness, and evilry.
Is it a human coat?
Do
That
you
makes it
want
sound weird.
No, I'm a dwarf.
Native.
This is a human coat.
All right,
made of-
so roll me D100, call high or low.
Hi.
I would never walk into a store called Human Coats.
Wow, that
I
is the
said
lowest
low.
it's low. It is a dwarven coat.
Oh, shit. No, I can't take it.
Wear it.
Oh, poverty, man.
All the
Wear
high
it.
when
You
you rolled,
be-
so you rolled against what you called.
Be a
for.
big. You can wear the coat. You could be big pimpin'. Does it have a big fur collar?
Foul poverty, I can't take anything of a material value, man. I'll lose all my shit.
It's not material value unless you sell it.
150 gold.
Yeah, but it's also it could keep you warm at night. You can snuggle with it.
I don't need to be warm. I have
mean, technically,
protection from elements.
It's a little big for the halfling, but not too big.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm going to toss it to the halfling.
Could I argue this for you, Shaggot? If you don't sell it, it's worth nothing.
That-
Exactly. That's my point.
The question is not whether Shaggot believes you. I believe you.
Wow.
I am going to toss it to Duds.
What's
and
this?
Duds has got new duds.
It's for you.
I'm gonna wrap it around myself. Does it fit?
I mean, it's a little roomy, but yeah, it's like
To grow
Sleeves
into.
are hanging down to here.
I'm picturing it being like the style of it is kind of like something Barbosa would be wearing, like Pirates of the Caribbean, with like the frilly
Oh.
collar and the big stand up. Like,
I'm picturing a
It's just-
small
the
teenager
sleeves
dressed
are
in one of
just
his
a tad
dad's
bit too long,
suits.
so they cover like half your hand,
Yeah.
right? And they're a little too wide for your little halfling arms.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
Jane,
cute.
how tall is Duds, actually? I'm curious.
Let me look at my sheet here. I mean, let's see.
I am absolutely
3'1".
I'm no use to anyone in these conversations
3
because I don't
foot.
write an
Okay, so
actual
it's like a
height.
foot. It's a foot bigger than you because I'm 4'1". So
Yeah, so instead of like ending behind her knee, it like ends behind her ankle, so it's a little bit more like the Matrix trench coats would be.
Yeah. Just roll the sleeves up, Duds. You'll be fine.
Hey, Captain.
Yeah.
I instantly regret my decision.
Captain Caveman, that's who you are.
I
Okay.
order you guys to keep searching.
I want to go and take a look at these, what appears to be some books and scrolls and stuff over on this table.
Which table is that? Is that the one by the big red pentagram on the floor with the cauldron?
Yes. Which I'm definitively not going to touch in any way, shape, or form. Breathe in, smell, lick.
You're the complete opposite of my one of my usual players, Kajer. Famous for his characters who do things like lick the bad things to find out if they're safe.
I'm not gonna. Hypothetically, if there was some brown stuff on the floor, I'm not gonna put my fingers in it and taste it.
Right.
I mean, who would do that?
That's not a bad strategy, thank you.
I feel like I have missed something important here.
In a different time, in a different world.
So,
You've missed good investigative work. That's what you've missed.
Okay, I understand.
Okay.
So the scrolls, roll me knowledge arcana.
Alrighty then. Let's see here. Pull my skills up. Knowledge arcana.
I can't believe I'm actually going to use these words.
12.
You can identify that this is some sort of effect from the transmutation school. It's a spell, and you can also identify that this is a freshly, like, this is not a common spell, and it's not old, it's new, and it's not having been copied from somewhere. These are notes of somebody who is developing a new spell.
This all makes some sense. I'm gonna take that, roll it up, and just slide it. Reach under my arm and slide it down inside the plate mail beneath the armpit.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to stuff it just about anywhere else in a suit of plate mail.
You're going to guess that, like, it's a little beyond you, but the brainiac might be able to help you with that later.
My thought process is, we know that one of these two was researching some demonology stuff and I think it's somehow tied into that. So I'm going to get it into the hands of our priest at an appropriate time. But I'm trying to I'm going to keep it for now, because my intention is to get those two bodies up there and buried, and then worry about the mule. I don't want to be down here anymore.
There are two cauldrons that are bubbling. Something is cooking in both of them.
From a distance, then, I'm gonna have a peek.
From a distance, roll me search.
One to the left is going, oh, bird.
Drink me!
It's your father.
Okay, search. 11.
You can't make out anything other than the fact that it is thick, dark, and lumpy.
Porridge.
Seems familiar.
Oatmeal.
Seems familiar.
Dudley, come and drink this. No.
I don't know what that means even. What?
And I'm gonna stop him in case he even tries to before he gets. I'm kidding, Dudley.
Oh.
There's some horrible goop in one of these cauldrons.
Oh,
Well, in
gross.
both
What
of
is
them,
it?
in fact.
Let me look.
Dudley, roll me search.
Okay, sure.
Don't get too close, Dudley. It might
I
be
won't.
heinous and terrible.
I understand not to get close to stuff like this. Okay, search. 21.
The lumps in these cauldrons are distinctly potatoey.
Oh,
Is it potato
Oh,
stew
overdone.
or potato soup?
those are potatoes. They don't look very delicious, though. I really wouldn't. Nah.
The circle with the pentagram beneath it, is that like glowing, or is it just painted in the ground, or what's the deal?
It was glowing when the necromancer was alive.
I don't
It's
care
not-
what soup it might be. If it's if it's being cooked over a glowing pentagram, I'm not having any. just
Sounds
saying.
like a wise decision.
Just
So it's
saying.
not glowing anymore?
No.
But the fire's still lit, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to step on the circle.
As you lift your foot off the dusty cave surface, and you slowly drift it down so your soul crosses that profane boundary, and you set the sole of your shoe down inside the mystic pentacle. Nothing happens because the darkness is dead.
Look at this. Look, and I'm kind of just walking on the circle. Nothing's happening.
With your Matrix coat. Good
Thankfully.
All right. Let me see here. Is there like a spoon that's hanging?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take the spoon and pick up some gloop and bring it to me and kind of smell it.
Smells like apples?
It looks like potatoes. It smells like apples. What is it going to taste like? Pineapple? I'm gonna do.
Because there's a P in the apple, it must be.
What the fuck was that?
It was a joke, a funny joke.
Oh, okay.
Who wants to try it? I don't
I'm
want
walking
to.
away from Dudley.
Picturing Dudley in a big ass coat with a big spoon, just like.
Who tattle?
What is south of me, Grant? Because I know it's like the ground is all that goopy water crap, right?
Yes, this appears to be a particularly deep, like it's just marsh and you can't see the bottom.
And does it go on and on and on, or is it blocked off or whatever?
Oh, it's blocked off. If this goes on, it would have to go on underneath the surface,
Okay.
beneath where you can see. It is doing that vile and ominous bubbling.
Okay, I'm gonna stay away from that.
It's bubbling at me. I'm leaving.
I'm gonna avoid the blue swirling mist,
That's a good idea.
and I'm gonna head over here to this table to see what's what.
There are opposite you from the table. First off, there's a cage behind you, and there's a dead, mangled. You can't even really tell if that was a person or an animal.
Okay.
Honestly, at this point, in the cage, there are oodles of dry, and these bones are much older, like much older and dry, as if they have been looted from grave digging, almost. And they are on top of this fancy-looking magic circle, and surrounded by glowing red mushrooms that are growing in a perfect circle around all of these bones. The scrolls appear to have some sort of highfalutin magic writing on them.
All right, I'm gonna investigate those scrolls.
All right, give me Arcana.
I have one rank in Arcana, so I could use it, but my modifier is 0, so good times. Yeah.
Yep, those are definitely highfalutin magic writings right there.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to walk away from that table. My new dwarf voice apparently became a cowboy.
Alrighty.
You are currently positioned like directly next to shelves that are just littered with all kinds of magical spell components. Herbs and dusts and frog legs and fly wings and all kinds of stuff. The cloistered cleric, when he comes over here, I will allow him to loot roughly 300 gold pieces worth of specific components for spells that have listed expensive components.
Wait.
Okay, so yes, I'm going to find said cleric. Where is he actually?
Emery, you are over here with Aubrey, correct?
Oh, you look right like the cage does.
Yeah, he's right there.
So when we last left Aubrey, he was he's got the black veins going down his arms, and it's clear that he's got a really heavy dose. We found him in the cage, and it was clear he had been tortured. And then Otto busted him out in the middle of the fight, and he was driven by pure goddamn rage to smite the crap out of the necromancer. Didn't actually get to or got stopped by a zombie. I almost called it a Zed.
Same thing.
Got stopped by one of the big, thick zombies and smote the crap out of it. So he still has a Dallas blessing, but he is cursed the same way that the other guy was. But instead of seeing the damned, he saw Oberdon and thought it was his dad. And he's managed to piece together that something is screwing with him at that mystical level, and he's not... It's clear he doesn't know who you are because he can't see you for who you are, and he knows that.
Yeah, he's got the black veiny stuff on him.
Yeah, he's got a real bad... I think he's got 4 or 5 negative levels worth of that stuff.
Okay. Cool. All right. So he doesn't know who I am, and okay.
You get the idea that like he you don't know if he has forgotten you, but you're thinking that he's just picked up on the fact that he's not seeing people as who they are. And so whoever he's seeing you as, he's deduced you are not.
Okay.
And that's from like his muttering and grunting, mostly.
So he's still glowing with energy. It looks like I'm gonna... Just curious, is there a reason I have a little black ring around me, or is that just so that we can always see ourselves?
Yeah, that's for visibility's sake.
Okay. I was just wondering. Alright. So...
Speaking of...
I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of walk cautiously around the back of Rankin Timmerson, kind of lost in what I'm doing, and take a look at where the necromancer fell.
Sorry,
Sarah.
Saracina.
Sorry.
Because it's not enough. We can't call her Sarah because we have to be all fantasy about things. Her name was Sarah. Sarah was clearly, by the look of these now damaged and useless scrolls that were ruined during the combat, she was receiving instruction from somebody because they're not complete, but she has clearly absconded with some of her father's notes. And you will actually see that she has the important pieces of the demon's lineage and also the summoning process that her father was missing. And she was in the process of performing a very dark, very powerful summoning rite to conjure said demon using her own blood.
Okay. I see there's like a book. It looks like it has a comedy and tragedy on it. So that's, I'm guessing, a Litamara?
Yes. Unsurprising, given that the household worshipped Litamara. That's probably where it came from.
Okay. I'm gonna smash that up because I'm kind of about this whole thing with my transcendent thing from earlier. I'm still trying to kind of ground myself from that, and then seeing Aubrey here being okay. So
I made the mistake of understanding the cosmos. I must destroy this. The book will horribly fail its saving throw against you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like so you kind of like walk up and the corpse is sitting there or lying there in a crumpled heap. You look and you see the books and you can just pull out your dagger and just make certain nobody else can make use of these things again.
I was more curious about the actual like tome for Litamara, because like
about what's in it.
Yeah.
So it appears to be a prayer book.
Okay.
Like a prayer journal. And it starts off and it's this very neat, very articulate handwriting that you'll recognize as Mr. Cena's. Very methodical, very thorough. He was, over the course of like the first half of the entries, taking very detailed accounts of, he played some sort of game that he called solitaire but runs on dice. And he was interpreting these as signs from a Litamara and wisdom in the same way that, you would read Proverbs or you'd read your own tarot. But then halfway through the book, the handwriting changes into something that just seems more sinister. And is no longer talking to a Litamara or interpreting signs from a Litamara, but is instead referencing a demon by the name of Ganax. Which you will identify as the pronounceable, non-headache-inducing nickname for the demon that was going to be summoned here.
Okay. Ooh, okay, so he was... It's interesting that he'd have the room he had. That looks like his total... all of his research into demonology totally backfired then.
If you had to guess, it looks like he was, with this in place, your best bet is probably he was looking for Ganax, but didn't know Ganax was who he was looking for. And Sarah picked up on that and took that from him and decided to go and do it herself. Whereas he was clearly planning on killing Xanax or banishing Xanax.
Xanax.
Based on like what you found in his secret room, where he was becoming a bit of a self-made demon hunter.
Yeah.
She seemed much more prone to supplicancy than destruction.
Yeah, I'm actually going to keep that journal.
Okay.
Because it's kind of evidence at this point for what we'd be doing next, maybe. So yeah, the rest of it looks demonic and garbagey. So yes.
Very demonic. Yes.
Stab those.
Stab those. They are good and roughly stabbed.
Emery.
Oh.
There's some things you might want to look at down past the cauldrons to the southwest. I'm going to give Otto a smirk.
South.
Yeah, check your third quadrant, I think. The proper terminology.
It's over there. It's
I'm going to actually pull up my little compass and be like, okay. Like, this is that's a weird way to tell someone something.
From a slightly raised point up here, can I see down clearer into the other cauldron? Does it look like the same stuff that's in the one to the south?
It looks like there's the same like black gunk, but the lumps and shapes are distinctly not potatoey in the second one, even though the gunk is exactly the same.
Okay. You said these were 5 foot, these little raises, right?
About, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go round then. Again, assuming that the markings on the ground are no longer glowing.
Yeah.
Still
They're
taking
carved,
great
but
care
they're
not to step on them, because I don't trust them anyway. I'm going to get a ladle and take it out and kind of examine it a little closer.
Upon closer inspection, the chunks inside of this black goop consist of varied kinds of meats and fruits.
What kind of meat?
Are
Are there any fingers? Do I see any
Human
digits? Any floating
No,
toes?
Specifically like a chicken leg or like a slice of what you're assuming is ham. There's no distinctly human meat.
Okay.
Sarah's down here like, I need to summon this demon dude. Like, get
Well, I mean, logically, if they,
potatoes into
down here for a while, needs to eat. I'm just amazed that she had time to cook 2 large pots of food, as well as summon demons. She's a very well-rounded cave aficionado.
very very well-rounded dead undead.
Like from the scrolls that you saw up on the top platform there, Emery, she was by no means a slouch. I mean, she's not as good as you are when it comes to like deciphering the finesse and inner workings and working with the, intertwining the divine and the arcane, but she was not somebody who would have failed to deliver a decent conversation on the subject.
Yeah. And now she's gone.
Your sister's gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go back to the rest of the group.
I'm going to try and get Aubrey's attention, and if Oberdon's coming up, I'll also be like, probably, despite the circumstances, bless the body and return it to its natural state.
Quite. And we have 2 to bury down there, too.
Has anybody talked to Aubrey yet? Just real quick.
Oberdon had one small exchange before he realized that communication was going to be difficult. And Aubrey was talking more to himself than to Oberdon, who Aubrey thought was his dad to start with.
Okay.
And then Oberdon was like, you know what, screw this, I'm checking out my donkey. And then Emery identified what was going on and just kind of gave Aubrey some space. But nobody's really spoken to Aubrey much. No.
Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna walk up behind Aubrey and just kind of tap his shoulder.
I was expecting to stab him.
No, and tap his shoulder and say, hello. First of all, I believe a thank you is in order.
All right.
And then pause for effect.
So you'll tap on his shoulder, right? And he'll kind of he'll start, and you see his hand go for where his sword would be at the scabbard in his hip, but that's not where it is because he was fighting with it and he dropped it. right? So like his body kicks in, he's startled, and he immediately goes for the weapon. He doesn't have it. He stops, and then you start talking to him, and he like stares at you, and he's in pain. Roll me charisma.
Okay. Diplomacy, or
Sure.
just a straight charisma check.
Diplomacy works.
Okay.
That's what I forgot. There's no like
Yeah.
general charisma stat.
It's
in
bad,
Diplomacy.
so
Ooh.
I don't have good charisma.
Ooh.
Lydia, I told you to stay with the cart.
What? What do you? No. We saved. What? I'm going to turn around to Emery. What was his name again?
Aubrey.
Aubrey. Do you remember your name, Aubrey? Does that clear some of the cobwebs, maybe?
Otto, he's just hallucinating from the spell effects.
Okay. Well, do you think he's going to remember that we did this for him, though? It's kind of important.
We can always
Who?
remind him.
What was that? Third?
Why is that important?
Well, I just mean, one, because so he'll know that he's free and safe, and two, it will spread the news of our good deeds. So we could be like sort of like a shining beacon in the darkness, giving everyone hope or something.
We have duds. We're not shining any beacons.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean by that, actually?
I've been
never
called
mind.
the light in the darkness.
I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
I
Okay, try to call
prefer saying
myself
the lights
that.
are on, but nobody's
that's what I thought.
home.
I'm just a little frustrated at the fact that I was entangled for the entire fight, but I apologize.
I'm really sorry about that. I didn't realize you were just stuck over there, and then I kind of went down, so I'm sorry I couldn't help you because
It's
I
no
was
matter.
almost dead.
Look, I say we burn all the crap that's down here, take whatever bodies and people up we can, and get the hell out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aubrey kind of like pushes himself to his feet, and he'll look back at Otto, and he says, "Fine, Lydia, if you're going to insist, tell Dad that there are bodies in the marsh. We need to bury them, and the bitch, make sure she's dead."
Who's a bitch?
Sure. Well, hey, why don't you follow Dad and get out of here to safety? Does that sound good? And I'll kind of point over to Oberdon.
Yeah, as soon as Oberhart heard him
Wait.
talking about dead bodies, he's going to tactlessly go over to him and say, "Bodies? Where? You're talking about in the sludge, just to the south of me."
And he'll turn, he'll look, and like you can see, he's forcing himself to try and hear through something. He says,
I'm going to grab him by the sides of the head and say, "Focus! Focus!" and shake him.
"I think they were relatives. She needed to kill something she loved for the sacrifice."
Ah, yes, we've found those. Don't worry. We will give them a proper burial. Oh, Heothric.
Yes.
Those cages to the south, how many of them contained bodies?
How many I saw one, right? But
One of them, but you have no idea what body it was.
I only saw one, but it was not in a good state.
The other cages were empty.
Yes.
She only used the cages for things she needed alive.
Okay. I'm going to go and check that body just to see if does it look human? Does it have a humanoid skull?
Cleric. Roll me medicine or religion, whichever is higher.
I'm going to say probably religion. If there's no medicine, you're thinking first aid, I think, right?
Yeah, sorry.
No,
It's too much fifth edition.
there isn't a first aid either. I'm just saying.
Heal. I'm sorry. Is the name.
Heal is what you're heal, yeah. It's much of a muchness, so I'm going to go with knowledge religion then.
All right.
Ooh, 24.
That is definitely not a skeleton of a person. That is definitely the skeleton of a demon of some kind.
Oh, in that case, that is coming out of that cage promptly. You'll hear a Blasphemy! And suddenly a whole bunch of rattling as I'm going to try to tear the door off the cage and cast the bones across the floor and stamp them into the ground. Grind them under my heavy metal boot.
I will not require a roll for the grinding of blasphemy beneath your
Thanks for the cheer, Paul. Yeah, they are definitely getting getting the
Yeah, you can stomp them real good.
Yeah.
Emery's just gonna look up over there and just be like, well, that doesn't get rid of the. Okay. Go back to praying over Sarah so I can actually put the body to rest.
Okay, so we'll say there's enough time for you to do the prayers. You are gonna need to there's no dirt to dig into to bury them in here.
I think that's why we want to try to take them up top.
I don't want to take a hold of a I don't know, horribly cursed, terrible individual directly because I want to bless it first, then move it, then bury it properly.
Yeah, you can there's nothing stopping you from being able to bless here. There's no pressure, there's no time limit, there's no need to worry about that. So as much time as is needed can be taken to accomplish that thoroughly.
Yeah, I'll do that over the parents' bodies too.
You'll notice now that you've seen the bodies up front, his body is a lot less touched by demonic energies than hers is. Which lines up with exactly what you had found in the manor. She had a love nest that was demon friendly, and he had a secret demon hunting chamber. And this is just lining right up with what you've already found.
And now what's in that white milky potion is just even worsely being visualized. I'm just saying.
+2 protein.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now along the lines of is Ganax the father?
Is Ganax the father?
Yeah, of like the demonic increasing demonic.
The implication from the notes that you found is that Ganax would be the greatest demon in the lineage of the tiefling. If not her father directly, then one of his children would be.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Uncle Ganax.
We just call him Gary.
So I used the name Ganax as like I used that as like my Machiavellian demon villain in like every campaign I've ever run. So you calling him Uncle Ganax is the most disjointed shit in my head. That's like Uncle Sauron. Yes,
Yeah, Uncle Sauron. That's it.
No, he's like cousin twice removed.
Uncle Satan.
Uncle Satan.
But yeah, you're like that thought passes through your head of like, could she have had the blood of Ganax? And if they're looking over those notes, that's probably exactly what's occurring.
Okay.
The demon hunter was probably headed toward the horrific revelation that he was not prepared to take on the thing he needed to take on.
Gary Ganax.
To avenge the honor of his relationship or whatever was motivating him. Like,
Probably just trying to find a mournful way to cleanse his bloodline at that point. That's sad. What a sad thing. But you worship chaos. That's what you get.
Once Emery has finished blessing the two bodies, I'm gonna see if Hjorthric, would you mind helping me drag these to the rope?
Sure. And I'm going to do that.
All
right, so you guys have dropped a rope down. The rope is tied to a big branch that's kind of across the mouth of the entrance to the cave at the top. So I'm not going to bother charging you guys climbing checks. You can hoist and then kind of like pull yourselves up the rope. It'll take you a bit of time, but you can easily pull that off.
Okay. Once we can get to the top, or once one of us is at the top, I'm guessing either me or Hjorthric is strong enough to pull one of those bodies up, right?
Oh yeah.
So between the two of us, they can play. They can play corpses. The only ones that
can't lug the bodies is Otto or Duds. I mean, Otto, Duds, or yes, you and Hjorthric.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
As we're doing it, I'm just gonna say, Oberdon, what about Rankin?
We'll have to figure out what to do with him after we've got these taken care of.
It's my ringtone. Yeah.
Ratavan.
I apologize.
That's what you think it is, Jane. It is Little Einsteins is really what it is. That's the version he has.
Amazing.
Little Einsteins. Yeah, I don't entirely know that we can get Rankin Samuelson out of there. Unless we can be creative. We may have to do the kindest thing and put him to sleep.
So, Rankin's, like, stitched, from my understanding?
He had been stitched to the ground. I've taken care of that.
Okay.
He is unfortunately a big mule, and how we're going to hoist him up a 20-foot hole on rope is...
Yeah, the necromancer kind of had an army of undead capable of helping her lug shit around. We don't have that.
Okay.
Yeah, and getting him down the hole would have been a hell of a lot easier than getting him up.
Yeah.
Unless that bed is really springy, in which case he can jump up and down on it until he gets high enough, and then we'll grab him and pull him.
I'm just saying, I let you roll for the mushrooms. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
we could all work together, no? And put a rope on. I'll be above hoisting. We got the carpet.
Teamwork, yeah.
I mean, he was brought
Carpet,
down.
carpet will be a
from-
good support, but it's not going to carry it all the way. So if we tie him up, we each can get on there, help him up.
I mean, he was brought down most likely by all those skellies that Emery destroyed. But we're 6 people, right?
I'm like half of one.
Well, and Aubrey's also useless.
We are four people and a boy.
Aubrey's probably more useful than I am.
Aubrey turns to Yothirk and says, "Now's not really the time for that, Emery."
Wait, what?
But we've got the corpses up.
So did you say Emery at your
Yeah. He
Yeah.
thinks Otto is Lydia, whoever that is. He thinks that Oberdon is Dad, and he thinks that Yorthirk is Emery.
Ooh.
We need to get him out of the hole. Pronto. As well.
So how much does Rankin weigh?
A mule?
I have always wanted to Google a
Google.
ridiculous question like this, and I'm shocked I've
Average
never had to
weight.
do this in my entire D&D.
How much
How
does
much do donkeys weigh?
Hey.
Between
mule.
51 and 1,000 pounds. That's
Look up.
very vast.
between
Look at that.
51?
180 to 1,100 pounds.
So do we roll 1d 111?
820 to 1,000 pounds, yeah.
The ass of the party way.
Give me 1d10, and it'll be 1 plus 1d10 times 100 pounds, and that'll be Rankin.
All right, that's you,
Like,
Gore.
it'll be the fattest donkey that has ever existed.
1 plus 1d10. Oh, wait. Roll a 2. Yes! 30 pounds.
He's only 300 pounds.
He's 300 pounds? I'm bigger than that. He's a very malnutritioned
Not
donkey.
well in his captivity
Yeah.
that lasted less than a day.
Oh, hell, 300 pounds, we can easily get him up.
Yeah.
If that's all he weighs.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we can get
large
200 pounds of that weight lifted by the rug. We'll put him on the rug.
Rankin is your favorite mule for his tenacity and his willpower, not for his
For his...
girth.
All I care about is if he can carry my shield, my extra weapons, and my food. I don't really care beyond that. And he is Rankin Samuel's son, so he is a young mule as well, so that would make
Oh
sense.
yeah, that's right.
Maybe he's not fully grown yet.
He's
He's a slip of a lad.
Oh boy.
So we're gonna get the donkey up.
Okay, yeah, if that's the case,
Rankin
then...
Samuelson lives for another adventure.
Ass is up.
Yay!
Excellent.
I'm gonna give Rankin a big hug.
Oh,
I knew he'd find you, Rankin. I was looking.
what a loser.
Yorthric, when the boy's not watching, push that stupid rug back down the hole.
So the halfling is like, "Yay, Rankin!" And Aubrey will just put his hand on Rankin's head, and he will say, "I have no idea what you're doing here, Paul." Paul, these are names that Emery would recognize.
Yeah.
Lydia was nobility in the city that Aubrey came from. She was a very nice girl. Like where your sister was like the most innocent, the most bleeding heart caretaker, Lydia was like that to a naive extreme where like she just saw the best in everybody to the, like, even as they drew their weapons, she was so insistent on seeing the world in a nice light, and Aubrey really took a liking to her. Paul is actually the name of his dog.
All the dog.
Which he named after one of his childhood friends as a joke, and then it stuck.
That's great. That's so great.
So congratulations, Otto. You are Aubrey's crush.
Okay.
He's going to try to stick his tongue down your throat at any moment.
Would I have learned that at all?
You have no idea who Aubrey is. Emery knows this because Aubrey was one of Emery's friends since.
No, I know. I just mean, I guess I should say, is Emery saying this out loud, or is it just?
No, Emery's not telling anyone what's going on. He's only ever he tried to petition Kurthurk to try and I guess say something comforting that Emery would be able to say to Aubrey at this point, or kind of instructions on what's going to happen here. But that'd be the only thing Emery would feel comfortable with.
Well, tell me what you want me to tell him, and I will do though. I'll do so.
Tell him that he's suffering some spell effects, and we're going to take him to a priesthood where he can heal brightly.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to turn to Aubrey and basically repeat that.
He kind of concentrates for a second.
You can tell him that you aren't actually Emery. He's seeing things wrongly, but that I am here.
I am not Aubrey, but I am not Emery. You humans with your human names. Not normal names like yours. I am not Emery, but he is here.
What is Emery's brother's name?
Oh shoot! Let me check.
He's your brother.
There's a whole city named after him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It is. It's Radolf.
Yeah. So you're like, I am not Emery, but Emery is here, and he'll look and he'll say, "Oh, thank God you're here, Radolf."
Oh! Frick.
Slap in the face.
Look,
Once more, your brother.
Aubrey, we gotta get out of here.
We gotta get Emery out of here. And why is Lydia here? And why is Paul here?
That's the curse speaking. The magical spell that's messing with you.
And he'll turn and he'll look at Otto, right? And he says, "You sully her name, and I will find you."
Okay. Hey, why don't we just get out of here, and we can get him back to health, so we can understand what he's talking about.
There's a temple to Pelo not too far from here. We'll take him where we took
It's
the other
kinda
individual.
fun.
Isn't there Big Mama? There's a Big Mama there?
It's Fanger and Big Mama, yeah.
Can't believe I remembered that. After 2 months ago, I still remember.
On second thoughts, let's not go to the temple of Pelo. It's a silly place.
We don't want Martin showing up, you know.
Aubrey will kind of shakily stand up and pick up his blade and sheath it.
Right. Seeing as we have successfully got Rankin Samuelson up, and they're not particularly heavy,
Yep.
I don't want to bury these two bodies here in the swamp. I'm going to actually put them over Rankin's back and carry them out to maybe give him a proper burial somewhere.
Yeah, Rankin will be unusually docile for a bit until he starts to piece together that we're leaving. And once he's really got himself into the headspace of, okay, that's over, and I'm not going to be horrified every time I dig my heels in, you'll slowly watch him kind of be, oh, and he'll start to walk with a bit of that, well, screw you then.
That
at the
attitude.
swamp.
Okay, then I'll be like, look, excellent. Rankin must be feeling better.
He clearly won this argument.
All right, well, I'm just going to, assuming, does he still have his, rope tied around his neck that he had before, or did they take that off?
The rope was cut, so it's not like attached to anything, but yeah, it's still there.
Okay, how long is it? Long enough to pull?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll wrap it around my hand, and once the bodies are over his back, I'll give him a tug and make sure he'll move in the appropriate direction.
So the closest destination is Cena Manor.
Yep.
The ranch, or Cena Ranch, sorry.
Before we go, perhaps Otto, Dudley, and I should destroy everything down there that is not needed or worthwhile, while Emery checks out that shelf of crap that might help him his spell work, you know?
Oh, that reminds me, Emery. And I'll retrieve the scroll and hand it to Emery. I found this down there as well. Seems to have something to do with the summonations that they were involved in.
So rather than charging you the DC 20 check because Oberdon got a DC 12, give me a DC 12 Knowledge Arcana check for this scroll.
Yay! 27.
This scroll
Yay.
is a successful, functioning, transmute potato to other food spell.
Oh my
found
god.
the single
It
most
is the Grail.
valuable in the world.
Wait, we ate it's Soylent Green is people!
Soylent Green
It's potato!
You guys were eating potatoes, you're eating people!
How components for this spell? Is it verbal, somatic, like it's a ritual?
It's going to have the same components as like I'm modeling it after.
Is it an arcane spell?
Yeah, it's an arcane spell. Modeling it after Conjure Food. I think you can add it to your spellbook as a cloistered cleric, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the intention. I
Does
thought in the
me
back of
no
my head
good,
a cloistered cleric
but-
to do the
So-
wizard trick.
So this person is taking bodies and transforming them into potatoes?
No,
No,
she's
no.
taking
Or vice
potatoes and
versa.
turning them into apples and.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Seeing as potato is the only thing that grows worth of crap around here, that makes
Right.
that an incredibly
That makes
valuable
Stuck in
spell.
the fucking cave doing demon work, going. I fucking hate potatoes.
Oh no.
Makes sense.
It's a side project. As well
Yeah.
as summoning demons, I think I'll make something more
basically,
palatable.
After looking over it, I'm just kind of keeping that knowledge to myself, and I'm just like, thank you very much for showing me this. This is very important. I'm gonna roll it up and put it in with my other stuff. Not explaining anything about it, just that it's very important.
Right.
Can I steal a spell from a scroll?
I think you have to take it from somebody who's prepared it.
I know,
Yeah.
but can I?
Okay, so I'll put it this way: we're opening a business after all of this. You can take my extra spell slots. We'll make twice as much food, twice as fast for the Russians.
It won't be potatoes anymore, it'll be sweet potatoes. Because that's just how creative and inventive we are. That's as far as we go.
Yeah, I'm just
You
gonna.
could name the restaurant Lemmy Smash.
You said 300 GP worth of stuff.
Oh yeah, 300 gold worth of up to 300 gold worth of individually named components for spells.
Are any of you guys taking any of the gold, incidentally?
Yeah, I took a couple.
There's
hundred myself.
1,800 pieces in total from this loot.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd take enough to where it wouldn't like weigh me down, you know? Like I'm not like putting it in every
I
pocket.
think it's like 100 coins is a pound.
Okay. I got plenty of weight to spare, so I'll take 500 gold, I guess.
Because you have, if it's 1,800 and there are 2 people in the party that aren't taking any money, that's 1,800 divided by 3 means your fair share is 600.
Okay,
I'm
then I
looking
take
to see
600.
what my how much gold I currently already have. To see if I give a crap or not. Nope. I don't want any. I don't need it.
I'll probably pick up whatever's left because that money can be turned into capital, which can be turned into knowledge.
Into potatoes,
It's
which
a
I can
potato
turn into
business.
things to sell, which I can turn into more gold, which I can turn into more knowledge.
I'm far more interested in getting these bodies back to be buried.
Yep, the transferring of the bodies will go easily enough. The closest place to stop is Cena Ranch. So you guys
Yeah.
will kind of like
anyway.
you guys will like break out of the.
And it was
the
like,
creepy-
from what I remember, it was 2 or 3 hours to town from here, right? Because we took
was-
that guy back and came back in the same day.
Yeah, I think it was 4-hour trip.
So,
Okay, 4 hours.
before we ended up leaving, so basically, I think the others are like helping destroy stuff so that it doesn't continue. I'm gonna like pick out the useful things and then be like, okay, the rest can like be dead.
Okay.
And then that one magic circle that Jorthar tried to check out on my behalf, it's a little more complex than the transmutation spell, and that's interesting to me.
This is distinctly a summoning circle.
Yeah.
Those mushrooms are indicative of infernal connections. So you're looking at this circle is for summoning things, conjuring things from hell, and the connection that they give to hell causes these mushrooms to grow here, where they are only usually native to the various planes of hell.
Okay. So this is
Hell
big
mushrooms.
no stuff. Okay.
Yeah, don't eat those.
Yeah, don't eat them. Yeah, I'm going to responsibly, within my knowledge, dispose of this entirely.
The easiest way to do it is to first break the circle, which because the circles are carved into the stone, because clearly she was using these extensively, is to take a rock and just start like scraping until you can make any break in the shapes.
Yeah.
And then from there you can just kind of like smash the mushrooms with a stick or another big rock or something, and kind of just once it's ground up, the bones themselves, even the bones of the demon, have long since lost most of their potency, and grinding them up and kind of like dumping them into the bubbling ooze or something might be the best way to get rid of it.
I was considering just putting it in the stew.
And then eating it.
Other than that, you might want to come back at a later point or tell somebody to come back here, because this is distinctly desecrated ground, which you will need to purge. Mechanically, that means casting Consecration, which is a 3rd level spell.
Yeah. So that's like, I'm thinking about, because I was thinking about like we'd have to do another thing, and it would probably be a good thing to use those mana pillars to do that.
Yeah.
Kind of on the area general, and then really focus on this.
You're pretty certain you have the know-how to draw on them without like backfiring or overloading.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when you guys finally step outside, already with the mana crystals not being drawn on for the dark rites that were going on in this area, a lot of the rot and corruption from the swamp has already started to recede.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and unless any of this screams something very specific to the case that we have going, I'm destroying that.
The scroll is a summon. It'll be a summon monster 4, I think. Yeah, summon monster 4.
Cool.
So you can snag that.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But other than that, no, it's all like demonic crap.
Yeah. Stupid. Throw it in the fire.
So you guys crest through the tree line as you're approaching Cena Ranch. And if you want to take a quick break
Yeah, that'll
before we
work.
kick up the next scene, we can do that now.
Sure.
It's a good time.
All right, perfect.
All right.
Alrighty then.
A Deadlands game, and those ones became idiots with shotguns. Was that party name?
So we're idiots with duds.
Idiots
Hey.
with duds.
Oh, that means I'm not the idiot. Idiots.
Oh,
with
that's
duds.
true.
Wow,
I like how Shagget was the one who
self-burned.
suggested this by not. That's so perfect, though. It fits.
I was trying to be insulting, but didn't work out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the
Complimented
whole.
duds.
That's how this whole works. It's very.
That works.
All right, so
I'm the idiot. What can I
so
say?
on our last episode of Idiots with Duds, so you guys were just cresting through the tree line and approaching the house, and Annie is like sitting on the stoop, as it were. The blood puddle has been like cleaned up.
Hey,
Annie!
Annie! Hey, Annie! I'm gonna yell across the field.
Hello?
We're
Oh,
back!
yes. Hello.
Hurry towards her. So,
Come along, Benkin. And I pull the mule.
silent.
I'm taking the mule in the house this time.
Good idea.
Small mule, you probably can, right?
Yeah,
It'll get through the
sure,
door.
Why not?
It's coming in.
Yeah.
It can stand in the hallway for all I care, but it's coming in the house.
So, like, as you pull the donkey in through the door, she'll be like, "Oh, hello! Hello!"
I will gently lift the two heads of the bodies on the back of the donkey. Do you recognize these two?
Oh, they're leaking.
Yes, they're not very well.
Mhm.
Oh, does that mean they're done?
I'm afraid so, yes. I don't suppose that there's a family burial plot out back, is there?
There's a little graveyard.
Oh, there is. Excellent.
I'm not allowed there.
Oh, I'm going there right now then.
Emery, before you follow Oberdon, because you guys are into that death stuff,
Yeah.
is there any way we could free Annie?
Well,
I mean, she seems to
that's
be a
it.
prisoner.
Ask her if she's okay.
Oh.
I'm refusing
Oh.
to.
I was waiting for.
Damn
I'm
it.
waiting for one of you to
Honestly,
stoop
thought
that
of
low.
it.
I was
But
so
like,
good.
nah.
I thought of it too, man. Jane, yep.
Annie, you should know that I'm trying to think back to the family portrait. There were 2 other siblings. There was a brother and a sister, right?
Yes.
So those would technically be Annie's new masters.
Yes.
Don't know them. I just knew her, so I don't know if
As a matter of fact, the location of those children has never been determined.
exactly. Do you know, Annie? Do you know the other 2 siblings of? Shoot.
Cetus.
Well, Sarah's 2 siblings. Do you know where they are?
I think the young master went to war, and the other to a circus.
And are you bound to the house?
Oh no, this is simply the orders I have been given is to stay here.
By whom?
Well, first it was Pompadour, and then I supposed he might be cross with me if I were to break his wishes, but you tell me he has leaked and is over.
Yes, he has leaked and is over. I believe you might need to seek out a circus.
Wait, why?
That's where her charge is.
So she's just gonna be a slave forever?
Oh, no, not a slave. I'm
Do
more like
you
a...
do you get paid?
Or like a slave.
Paid attendees.
Yeah.
Attendees, right?
She says, I can be here.
No, it just, do you like what you do being a servant to this messed up family?
I don't find them particularly messy, no.
It has a brain freeze right then and there. That is not the question I asked you.
Perhaps she can just tend to the house and the grounds until the new masters return.
But does she like it? Is that something she wants to do or is just being compelled to do?
Well, Daddy said that I should.
Yeah, but what would you do if you could do whatever you wanted?
Oh.
Oh, it's like out of a scene out of Coming to America. Whatever you like.
If I was the master...
And please don't say you'd kill us, because I don't want to leak today. Just cover my faces. Sorry.
She says, why would I... That would be... No, that wouldn't be any fun.
Mhm.
You've been much more entertaining, vomiting on the grounds and losing a donkey. And nosing around where I can't go. That's very useful. You've been very nice to me. I wouldn't kill you.
Thank you.
So what would you do if you were the master?
If I was the master, I would ride a bear.
That's really interesting. I can help you out with that.
They're very fuzzy, I'm told.
Well, the circus might actually work for you.
Does it specifically need to be a bear? What about possibly other large and furry animals? I don't
just
mean
like
Rankin,
the
of
fuzzy.
course.
The fuzzy is good.
Are you allowed outside? Can you leave this house?
Well, if the master has leaked and is over, then I suppose
Well, perhaps we
I
should
can't
try.
get in trouble for breaking any rules.
Real quick, are furry and fuzzy the same thing to you? I just don't want you to get your hopes up or something. I don't know about you all, but I would classify them more as furry. Is that still like interchangeable?
As long as it's not scaly, I feel like that's a place where I should draw the line.
Just looking out, so if you do go on this intimate journey for yourself, you aren't
I
disappointed
feel it's
at the end.
very important we acknowledge the difference between furry and scaly.
That is true, and they are worlds apart, so you're good there.
I guess what I'm getting at is, you are free of your charges up to the current heir, which would be most likely at the circus.
I suppose, yes, and until he gives me an order, I'm just not.
You can be here.
Yes.
I wouldn't be upset with you if you checked out those rooms you're not supposed to.
Or it's mostly the salt.
Right.
If you broke the salt lines, I would go looking.
I feel you deserve it at this point for all the help you've been.
Well, that would be very kind of you. Thank you.
So I'm actually gonna go do that. I'm gonna go break all the salt lines and regret
So
it.
you like break the salt lines? You ever seen a kid who has been told they're never allowed to jump on the bed and then they're allowed to, like she does that. Like she immediately goes and like jumps on the bed and she amuses herself for a solid 3 minutes and then catches her breath. Oh, that was fun. Oh, thank you. And then she'll just like leave the
Is
room.
that the reason you weren't allowed to come in here?
Messed with the demons, you know, they didn't feel like...
I think my cleaning was dissatisfactory for those chambers. They were afraid I might not clean them correctly. Very particular about those rooms they were.
Well, they're dead, so be free.
Hell of
Okay.
a sentence.
Can she get outside? Did we establish that?
So what?
Can she come outside the house?
Yes, she says she can.
Okay. Come with me. Then if you've been so helpful.
Yes.
Right, I'm going to take her outside. I'm going to stick my hand into my tanned little bag.
Get out your pocket, goblin.
No, I can't summon a pocket goblin. What I will indeed summon instead, 16 grizzly bear. Excellent.
Are you serious?
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I have a bag of tricks. My magic item is a bag of tricks, 10, and 1 to 30 is a grizzly bear.
Oh my god.
Oh, I thought you said you summoned 16 grizzly.
No, a grizzly bear.
I actually thought you had said 16 grizzly bears.
No.
I
Oh
did
my
not
God.
know that you had a bag of tricks when she decided to ride a bear.
No, but that's
This is so great.
that was my my
Wow.
main magical item that I picked. 'Cause-
Well,
So yeah, I'm gonna take her outside, summon this fucking huge grizzly bear, and tell it, because it obeys your commands, to be subservient to her and let her ride it.
And she will like, now she is a little old lady, right? She's a little old lady. It's a big bear, all right?
Get down, let her
This
climb
bear
on your
is, like,
back.
Zooming. and it you say, you know, follow her orders, and it looks at you and it looks at her, and she says, "Oh, can I keep it?"
I'm afraid it won't stay around forever, but feel free to enjoy riding it for a little while.
Why not? Will it leak?
Well, It won't exactly leak, it'll just, disappear.
Oh, you mean the magic? The magic
Yes.
will be over.
Oh, that's okay. And she'll like reach out to this bear and she will pat the bear on the head. And she says, "Stay." And there will be a shimmer of magic. And you will feel this sense of hefty anticipation.
Yeah, because it technically only lasts for 10 minutes, so.
Right. Until she screws with it because she's
Right, that's what I figured. She's gonna make it permanent for herself.
she'll then, and she says, I've never named a thing before. His name is Kitty.
Kitty the grizzly bear.
Oh,
Just a fine name.
You had that in your pocket literally this entire time.
No, it was on Rankin Samuelson.
Oh.
Until we rescued the mule, I had
Okay,
none
now
of
that
these
makes
things.
sense. I was about to say we could have used that.
Yeah, no.
16 grizzly bears.
So she will climb on top of Kitty, and she will sit. She will look around. She says, "Oh, I can see my house from here." And she'll turn and just like look at the building that is right next to her.
Oh, Danny, what a good Annie.
She's, you were, which one were you? You were, Obi-Wan?
Oberdon. Yes,
Yeah,
Oberdon Danforth.
Oberdon.
Oberdoo, that's my favorite.
Obi.
Oberdoo.
Uh-huh.
You can call me
We can
Obi.
do this.
Obi to my friend.
In the name of naming things, this is a new experience, the naming of the things.
Otto's really good at it.
This is Kitty, and you are Oberdon, father of Kitty.
Not exactly father. Maybe more, I'm responsible for bringing him her into existence. I'm not entirely sure which, and I'll go and check the bear's sex.
Lean under.
Kitty is distinctly a he.
Okay. I brought him into existence, but
Well, that's close enough.
not exactly my offspring.
I wasn't born either.
No, quite.
I was kind of.
What happened to you?
You know how, like, when you step into a lake and you swish your ankle around and there are swirlies in the water?
I do?
I am a swirly of my daddy's ankle.
Did you do something to Kitty? I noticed a thing.
Oh, I just ate it. The little bit of magic that was going to leak. I froze it.
So, does that mean Oberdon lost his ball?
Do you need a ball?
Well,
My ball.
To summon it, doesn't it turn into a ball?
Does it?
And she
It's-
looks it over because she didn't.
When you reach into the bag, you pull out a little furry ball and throw it. You can do up to 10 a week. No more than
But
2
the
a day.
ball is now a bear that's permanent. So, do you get the ball back, or is it there's a bag full of balls?
Well, it does. It's not a limited number. Basically, it is. You can pull up
I'm
to
sorry.
10 balls from the bag
we'll
a week.
we'll say that the bag supplies the balls.
It's my ball
As
bag.
needed.
It's really important to me. Thank you.
I will never forget the day that you were so focused on how many balls were in that bag, Shagget.
I was really just curious about how the magic was tinkered
The
with.
magical balls in that bag.
Hmm.
All right.
And she says,
And you little one.
and she looks down at Dudley.
And she's, I think the others have called you Duds.
Otto started calling me Duds.
You
My
are
name-
now Duds, eater of pie.
Whoa. Is that like an official title I could put?
Well,
on
I have named you
paper?
thus, so yes.
Do I have to say that every time?
Only if you want them to know.
Is that in badge form? Can I add a badge?
A badge? Yeah, sure. What's a badge?
And I show him the sash that I have with like the 25 badge.
Oh!
And she will like you hold up the badge and she's like, Kitty, let me down. Kitty, let me down. Kitty will not let her down. Kitty has no idea what's going on. Kitty, fine. And she'll let herself down off the bear. Kitty is just like sitting there like, whatever, there's an old lady. I'm just gonna sit here and be a bear, right? And she says, that reminds me, you have a badge. And she'll like pick up a random rock.
Okay.
She holds it up and she says, yes, this is perfect. And she'll close her fist around the rock and you'll hear it like crack as if it's starting to break into gravel in the strength of her fist.
My eyes just widen. Wow.
She goes, aha! And then she'll let go. And it'll only have been parts of the rock that broke. And she will hand you a poorly crafted pie badge.
Pie badge?
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like the other ones, except for it's made out of a rock.
Oh my, did I really earn this? You think I did?
Well, you ate the pie, didn't you?
I ate the pie.
Yeah, it's true.
You did eat all the pie.
Oh my. And you just see like a single tear kind of.
Oh boy.
Like, I can't wait to sew this on. Thank you so much, Annie.
And then
My 18th badge.
she'll turn to Emery. She says, Emery.
How's he going to sew a rock?
It's a badge.
Yes. Sorry.
Emery, did you find the little one, Master Sarah?
Yes. I was under the impression we were going to bring her back, but
She was evil.
Yeah.
Evil, whatever.
It corrupted her heart.
This is and you stopped whatever nonsense she was nonsensing in the woods, right?
Nonsensing.
Yeah.
I name you Emery, foe of nonsense.
I actually kind of like that.
The best part is I'm not just talking out my ass. This will be important later.
Okay. Oh, I should have written out whatever you said it does.
Everybody has a name.
What did you say it does? Eater of pie.
There's Oberdon, father of Kitty.
Father of Kitty. Okay.
Duds, eater of pie.
Okay.
Emery, foe of nonsense.
Okay.
And then she turns to Otto. She says, Octavius.
Yeah.
You are known as House of Mirrors.
Oh.
Whoa. I don't think anyone's ever given me a nickname before.
She says, you should be careful, little one. Your reflection is a guide, but it is only a reflection.
I'm going to have to stand adversarial of that one.
Did you hear that, everyone? I am the guide, so make sure to follow my every move. You heard it from her. I know.
I had some like deeper meaning behind what I was saying, and Otto was like,
Oh, I know.
nothing having to do with that.
Nope. No.
He's gonna take it for his own personal interpretation.
Have you not figured out Otto's bag yet?
He's so self-absorbed, it's too funny. Like a
And
narcissist.
she turns to Hjorthurk and she says,
You? Haven't I? Yes, you were the one that was vomiting.
Oh no, I was forcing the others to vomit. I was honestly concerned for what you represented.
You were the maker
please
of the
don't.
vomit.
No.
No, but that's a terrible name.
Yes.
Maker of the vomit.
I will not go by that name. I'm too proud. My real name has been changed before to Stoneforge. I'm not going to be. Yes.
Did you punch the pink lightning yet?
You watched.
You mean Otto?
No,
Yeah.
you.
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, why not?
Well, I was entangled down in the woods. We can't quite do this.
The pink lightning got the better of you.
If that's what you want to call it, yes. I know that the enemy we fought, I saw she exuded lightning at one point.
It was pink.
You are Hjorthek. Lightning rod.
I
I will
want to
accept
be
that.
that one. Can we trade?
No.
No.
Oh man.
She's
I'm
come,
not
kitty.
liking my name anymore.
I wish to have an adventure.
Oh no! Oh god, I just got a 15 episodic series in my head lined up. And it ends tragically.
And she'll just come, Kitty. I wish to have an adventure. And Kitty doesn't move. And Kitty just sits there and is a bear. Kitty, Kitty, come. Kitty, come this instant. I want an adventure. Kitty, and she'll start climbing on top of the bear.
I'm assuming maybe now because she's permanentized the bear into reality, now it's just a bear.
Now it's just a bear, yeah.
So it doesn't
It's
do
subservient
shit
to her
this
in a
time.
sense.
Yeah.
And then like the bear will kind of like get up on all fours and it'll sniff Oberdon. She says, "No, Kitty, we're going on a different adventure. Leave the old man alone." And the bear will kind of like thump you with its head, like in that like nuzzle. Only it's way too big to be doing this kind of way. No, Kitty, the other way. Go the other, Kitty. No, we are. That is east. Go west, Kitty. Kitty, stop that. Stop that. This is. And she'll march off to the west, trying to get Kitty to go east.
Wow.
And
Think that's the
there.
last we'll ever see her?
No.
I have a horrible feeling that will not be the case, Dudley.
That's good. She was very kind. I'm really glad to meet kind people along our journey.
Yeah, speaking of kind, I've got 2 bodies to bury. Hjorthrik,
Right.
have a shovel, and I'll throw you a shovel.
I can help.
Must you?
I'm gonna take a smaller shovel. Much smaller shovel.
Alright, so I'm going to go out to the little family plot and see where a couple of appropriate spots will be, and then dig 2 graves, proper graves, not shallow graves.
Yep.
So,
I will help Oberdon.
That's the best part of a day, I'm thinking.
Probably doing some rites and stuff.
How's Aubrey?
Aubrey has been very quiet. If you don't like, once Emery, who was Hjorthurk, that Aubrey now believes is Randolph, explained what was going on, Aubrey kind of like agreed roughly, like he had managed to piece some of it together himself, and he knows that Emery is here, and you can see him like looking around trying to figure out who's who, but always like dismissing whatever conclusions he's drawing as you come here. And then when you start talking to the old lady, like, he doesn't interact with her at all, but he does note that everybody else is interacting with her exactly like they would with an old lady, except for now she's riding a bear. And Aubrey decides that it's just better to not ask questions, and so he's kind of like quietly not interacting with the crazy old lady with the bear.
Smart.
Yeah. I'll help dig as well.
You guys can stock up on potatoes and potato-related accessories.
Mm.
Rest.
Potato earrings, potato necklace.
Because it's been like, you guys were out for a while. It's probably like nightfall.
Yeah. The good thing with potatoes is they last a good while in a bag, so they don't go rot quick, which is decent.
Probably before they rot.
Well, I mean, and now you have that spell. So
none. Yeah.
none of you know that, but Emery knows that. I imagine like you guys are like, well, we should probably rest, and there's a whole house here, and Emery is like picking up a bag of potatoes, being like, yes, we should rest.
That's basically it.
And then like you guys will get the full benefits of a night's rest.
Ooh.
However much healing you're supposed to have. I forget how it worked in 3.5. I think it's half your max hit points. We'll go with that for now. Oh no, it's based on your level.
Yeah, it's
Level
level
plus con mod, right?
Well, plus
Yeah, I
level
think so.
plus com mod. Yeah.
That seems about right.
Yikes! That's it. Okay.
It takes some time to
Is
recover.
it 2 points per level? Plus com mod? Or is it?
If you have residual pie points left over, it'll be 2.
I still have
Really?
5 pie
I do.
points.
If you
I
have
think.
pie points.
No, I have
it'll be
1
2 per
pie.
level.
I have 1 pie point.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, you actually ate a point of pie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
1
If you
pie
didn't eat
point.
pie points, you get
That
1 per
helps.
level,
Okay.
and then that'll burn out the remaining pie points.
All right, so that'll be
Okay.
12 plus con then.
The next day, I think the goal was so you're gonna go and bury the Cenas in their graveyard, right?
Yep. And I will, as per always, conduct a big fancy ritual.
Where you cite the names of every individual whose name you have.
Yep. Every
Yep.
single person that I've ever buried, I reiterate all of their names, and then I
Oh,
add
really?
John Cena and Jenny Cena to the end of the list.
What do you do with the horses that are here and now have nobody to look after them because the old lady just left with her bear?
They're a lot tastier than potato.
Can't we walk it to town?
We could take them.
Well, aren't we going back to town with him anyway?
Yeah, you're going back to town. We'll say
Yeah.
there's 6 horses, 6 or 7 horses at the ranch.
We'll take them all back in town then. Donate them to the town, I guess, right?
You are totally muted there, Emery.
What?
Nope, I heard you that time.
What?
Oh. Yeah, we hear you, man.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, it seems to be the responsible thing to do for the sake of the horses, at the very least.
Yeah, like why let them suffer and starve to death out here?
Yeah.
and you know, yeah. So we'll probably bring them to town, and they'll help bring us to town. So
And we can
All right,
take
so
our friend
town
to the...
can be uneventful. You kind of like have a small army of horses in tow behind you, and you'll show up in town. And you'll kind of like get a couple of the villagers' heads will like turn as you walk in. What's your first stop?
I'm still suffering a negative energy thingy. So I'm going to... and we definitely need to take Aubrey to the Temple of Pelor, so I'm guessing that's the first stop, right?
Okay, yep. Emery, you would have by this point identified that you have the ability to accelerate the recovery with a restoration spell, and you did have a rest, so you could have prepared a bunch of those. And I think each restoration cures 1d4 negative levels.
yeah. So that's
but
probably-
how many restorations could you have prepared in one day? Is the only question.
Is it lesser restoration or?
Restoration, not lesser.
Let me make sure I got that right.
I'm almost certain you have access to it by this level.
Would hope so. I'm not seeing it on there unless it got missed. What level is that?
Restoration?
Yeah.
Let's see, 4.5.
It's a level 4 spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you don't have it yet. Okay.
Oh,
No, I didn't figure he did have yet. That's why I'm thinking we need to
Everybody
tempt the
will get
Pelorians.
Yeah.
It's a DC 14 will save to shed 1 negative level on your night of rest.
okay.
Well, lesser restoration is level 2, but it might not be able to do that, right?
Yeah, I don't think lesser restoration can cure negative levels.
Yeah.
It can cure ability damage, but not negative levels.
Okay.
Did I just close my... There it is. Right, in that case, you said a will save?
Yep. And I'm calling it DC 14.
Ooh!
If you nat 20'd that, like it sounds like you did, I'll let you take 2 off.
There it is.
I only had the one, so
Well, there you go. You do not gain a positive.
I'll take it.
Natural 20!
Rolled a
I'll
13.
cut you 1 short.
Yep.
Alrighty,
Okay, so
and
your
let's
sleep
see.
that night would have been plagued with nightmares.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
You know that moment where you almost walked up on your dad being
But
dead?
it wasn't my dad.
And it wasn't your dad, it was
Yeah.
his old work partner. In your dreams, it was your dad.
Oh man. So
See?
I'm waking up like shaking and.
And there's the people that bet on me, so you got gold.
hmm
So you head to the Temple of Pelor, and as you do, the little orc kid, who's like 8 or 9, right? Like, and wearing her clothes are clearly not standard issue robes. They've been made for her by somebody who's not exactly a master tailor, but they have the little Pelorian symbol on it, right? And it's made to look like, a cute little kid's version of this. And of course, she's got them filthy because she's a little 9-year-old that runs around and plays in all the dirt. And so like she'll the little pitter patter of her little orcish feet against the ground as she like runs out, and behind her will stroll out the half elf, whose name I believe was William.
We've found
The,
another.
Yeah, the Pelorian assassin that you had encountered. And he'll kind of like be waiting for your return, and he seems infinitely better than when you last left him.
Okay, so he was the one that was sick before?
Yes, he was the one that was sick before, and I believe what had happened was that Otto had struck it very well with his sister.
Oh yeah.
Because his sister was very, very pretty, I believe was how we decided that one was being communicated.
I think so, yeah.
Also,
It's
in the swamp, we found the body that was hung up, that we buried.
Yep.
That was a Pelorian priest, wasn't it? The William Blackthorn?
William Blackthorn was a very famous witch hunter who had stopped by the local Pelorian temple, but he's not from this temple.
Okay, all right.
He's like a celebrity who just so happened to equip himself at the Pelorian temple. So yeah, he had some Pelorian gear.
Okay. Because I seem to remember I took the holy symbol to return it to the church, so...
So he will... who is it here that speaks Elven? Is it just Oberdon?
I do, but I don't know if anyone else does.
I do not.
I speak Orcish and Elvish.
So he'll speak in Elvish, and for the rest of you, Fanger just like translates in an adorable little girl's voice. So I'll just give you Fanger, right? So he mumbles something you don't understand to her, and she says, "He's happy to see you. He says thank you."
Oh.
He says you look much better when you're alive.
Yes, tell him we're glad that he's feeling better.
She says something in Elvish to him. She'll repeat it because the one guy who speaks Elvish is translating through the kid. she'll play translator, and she says, what did I call what was the pretty girl's name? I know his name was William.
Susie.
Was it Susie?
No.
Because that's a name I use a
It is
lot.
now.
It's either Susie or Buttercup. All right,
Cindy Lou Who.
I don't know,
Buttercup.
that's
Buttercup.
we'll go with Buttercup because that'll be easier for me to remember. And then he'll turn to Otto, and he'll say something in Elvish, and Fanger will translate and says, "Buttercup says that you are not allowed to die, or she will kill you."
One of those.
Oh no, I've got a stage 5 clinger on my hands, guys. Red alert.
Wait, what does that mean?
No, nothing. Tell her I don't plan on that happening anytime soon.
And then she'll like run up, like she'll look at William, and William will nod, and she'll run up, and she will hold up a little flower. Oh wait, no, it's actually a painted little sculpture. And
To
she
me?
says, yeah, it's from Buttercup. I gotta remember. You're over here on my monitors, but you're over here.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
It's from Buttercup.
What is it? It's just like a flower?
Yeah, it's like a rose.
Oh, great. And I'll just kind of put it in my hair behind my ear.
Wow, Otto, you really wooed that girl.
I guess I didn't even know I was doing anything, but that's just the charm of Otto.
There is no translation needed, Otto. You have had this conversation before. He just looks at you and you understand. You break her heart, I break your knees, and that's just all there is in that moment, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then he'll nod up to Aubrey, and and then he says something, and Fagger looks up and goes, "Really? No, I'm not saying it. Who's he?" What he said for Oberdon was, "Who's the bitch?"
Who's he talking about specifically?
He's nodding to Aubrey, and Fagger said, "Who's he?" because she refuses to repeat what he said.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a nice gentleman there named Aubrey. We found him down in a cave.
Yes, he's another one that's thusly affected.
He was gotten and we saved him.
Something's
wrong with his head, though.
He's wearing armor from the old order of Adalis.
Yes, there's a long story about that. Perhaps we can discuss it after you've given him some aid, much like you did the other one that we brought to you the other day.
You vouch for him?
Oh, you bastard. I'm sure that he's in desperate need of healing, and he has done us no harm.
Roll me diplomacy.
Yeah, I'm lawful.
You vouch for him? I'm gonna talk around that question.
I'm not lying, because something's not quite right here.
Yep.
Diplomacy. Fortunately, I'm fairly good at that. 27.
Yeah.
He'll look you up and down and he nods, and you get the idea he gets it that you're not certain, but you have no outright reason to distrust him other than the horrible suspicions that you have no confirmation for.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a gut feeling, but
yeah. And he nods, and Fanger will translate for him. That's okay, we can take care of him. It won't take long.
Good. We'll have some questions for him when he is feeling better.
So would I see that Dudley still has like the affliction thing going on from?
Oh, the black marks? Yeah.
Dudley's got the plague.
Yeah. Eater of pies. You might want to go in as well.
And what?
Oh, you've got a little curse on you. I want to go get
Yeah, it's not pretty, but I thought I could live with it.
This isn't a 90s Adult Swim show. Oh.
Don't think the big adorable will save you in future encounters, but
I mean,
know
I
that
could get
you're...
rid of this thing? It's possible? I thought I was cursed.
Curses are only as strong as they're placed, and this one's removable. But be careful,
Oh.
okay?
Okay. Cool.
You might even get a survived my first curse badge.
Come on, I'll show you the pool.
Oh my god, yeah, show me the pool. Can I
In
get my
fact-
swimming badge too?
And
It's
Fanger
a
will
drowning badge in a minute.
run into the church, probably with duds in tow.
Yep.
Heorthric is just going to stay outside and kind of like look around. Does the air feel better? Like you said, the taint of the swamp was receding, so
Yeah,
is it
it's
as
like-
ominous and scary now that it's dark?
No, the town just seems a little... It's the ruins of what it once was. That hasn't gone, but it's not like it doesn't... The air isn't pregnant with a threatening silence anymore.
Well described. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I read way too much Lovecraft.
Okay, I'm just gonna lean on a post outside and just observe.
All right. So Otto, you have a flower behind your ear, or rather, a little wooden sculpture of a flower behind your ear.
Yes.
It has her name, like engraved on the stem.
Aw.
Okay.
And what name is that?
Ahead of it, it has property of.
So Duds, you're going into the church, and everybody's just like waiting for Duds to come back out.
I'm going crust. I honestly don't care. I'm going over to the tavern.
Okay, so we'll handle Duds in a second. There, we'll handle you. You're going to the tavern. Who's going with Orthodox? That's not your name in the slightest.
Orthodox? Hey, it works.
Who's going with Orthodox?
If the
Baggy Fox, and I'll like. Say
All right, so Emery and Voldemort go to the tavern.
I'm going with Oberdon, but I have no intention of drinking anything. I'm just going because we're going.
What was his name? Grok. That was his name.
Yep.
Yes.
So Grok is faithfully behind the counter. He's cleaning the mug like he's always doing.
All right. I walk in. I'm going to just slam 2 gold pieces down on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Who came with me?
I'm with you.
Just you?
And Emery. Yep.
And Emery.
And Emery.
Okay. Knowing full well that they're not going to drink them anyway, I'm just going to say 3 flagons of ale and 3 of those shots of that potato whiskey stuff.
Splash potato coming right.
Splash potato, yes.
Flash potato.
So the ale that they have to serve here is splash potatoes. The shots that they have to serve here are splash potatoes. They kind of ran out of everything except potatoes a while ago. So the alcohol will come as close to ordered as possible.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to down one of the mugs of ale quickly and just basically quaff it down so half of it's down my beard. And then chase it with the shot of the other clear liquid stuff. And then
Grows on you if you ain't careful.
these potatoes can grow anywhere.
You got some tater in your beard.
Sorry.
Grows literally anywhere.
I just pick it out and eat it.
Right.
Says so you
It's like the Odin sleep Odin with like a potato.
can't help but notice that you're here.
Oh, if you're referring to the fact that we were not gotten. No.
Yeah.
We in fact did some gottening of our own.
Did you? What was out there?
Dead things mostly. Evil, vile, desecrated dead things.
You mean like the Great War?
On a much smaller scale.
Oh, that's enough to maybe cost me some sleep.
I wouldn't worry about it, we took care of it.
Suppose that's kind of your job, ain't it?
It used to be, at one point. Seems to be that we're getting back into that line of work.
Well, for what it's worth. You drank my potatoes, so apocalypse forgiven.
Oh, well, I suppose we should say thank you. Are you going to drink this, this liquid, Heothric? Nope, fair enough.
Drink or eat, you know that.
And then I'm going to take the other one of the other mugs of ale and start sipping on it instead. And then I'm going to just go and sit at the bar for a while.
So, you got the getters?
We got some of them, at least. I don't know if there are any more. But there were some that were lurking in the woods. Not too far from the Cena Ranch. We took care of those.
How the scene is doing, by the way. Ain't heard from them for a few days.
And you're not going to. They're 6 feet under, I'm afraid.
Oh.
They got got.
They had been gotten.
By their own getter.
We was able to find them and put their bodies to rest, as well as the famed witch hunter, William Blackthorn. I trust he probably came through here a few days ago himself.
Blackthorn. Oh, yeah.
And then he'll, like, instead of saying, like, he says, oh, yeah. But then the next words out of his mouth are,
extra roasted with a side of smashed and 3 mugs of splashed.
That's how he liked his potatoes, I'm assuming.
Man could eat some taters, let me tell you.
Well, witch hunting is a thirsty business, and a hungry business. Yes, unfortunately,
he got
is
God, did he?
not with us either.
I wouldn't have put my money on that.
Whatever it was that was lurking there, he was but one man, even though he was somewhat legendary. Fortunately, I had 3 able-bodied warriors and a priest.
This is I'll pour one out for him.
Being an able-bodied warrior.
No, I'm counting myself, Otto, and Hjorthric, and you. I'm not even counting Dudley in the counting.
This is by the way, I did some asking around while you were gone. You said you were looking for your uncle.
Yes, did you hear anything about his whereabouts by chance?
He had this ass. Emphasis on ass.
Quite probably. It's a family thing, you see. I have an ass as well, and he is a pain in it.
Made quite an impression on the locals. Donkey got his muzzle a taste of the splashed potatoes.
Oh dear.
And if you look out the window there across the way, and he points at like this house that's across the way, he says, there used to be a door in that doorway.
No.
And, he went and stumbled his way down that way, and then he knocked poor Buttercup out her own house.
This is recent?
Yeah, this is actually a couple days just before you arrived. I went asking around while you were gone, since you had been very insistent on finding out what you could.
The people that own the house, who are they?
That belongs to Buttercup's father.
Interesting. I'll go and have a word with him.
No, Oberdan, maybe we should send Otto.
You think that's wise?
Well, Buttercup claimed him as his property, so...
Yes, but do you think that the girl's father will be appreciative of this fact? There is a considerable age difference.
I'm going to amuse myself by not commenting on the nature of Buttercup's father in this moment.
Okay, how about we donate some of the horses from the Cena Ranch to Buttercup's father as like a token of apology?
I think that's a smart idea. I was going to pay for the repairs of the door.
You have to put up with Otto, have some horses.
Here's the dowry.
Well, I was thinking about the door, but sure, that too.
This is a dowry for Otto.
Is
there anything else, Grok, that you can recall? Where did you hear where my uncle left? Did he leave? Is he still in town?
I got a memory like a steel trap, and last I heard, he was headed north. Now, if you want some details, Buttercup's father might be able to tell you more, but what he told me was that he left chasing that ass, and it was going. That's where he went, and he headed north. Up along the road here. Now, this road goes quite a ways. The first stop that you'll find is a rest inn along the way called the Crimson House. I do not recommend that you partake.
And why is this?
He says, it's got itself a bit of a reputation for ne'er-do-wells. And I just don't trust the place myself.
And past the Crimson House, what are we going to find then?
I'll get up past the Crimson House, and it'll start to get yourself a bit, what do you humans call it? Cold. Cold, yeah.
We're heading into the mountains, is that it?
Yeah. The next village on the way up there.
Fine.
And he's... I hate having to remember. Worthington. Yeah, they got their name from some historically significant sword or something.
I see. Right, well, I appreciate does Buttercup's father, does he, have a fondness for your, particular types of alcohol? Does he have a favorite?
No.
Does he have one he hates the least?
When Mr. Buttercup deigns to drink over here, it's usually because he's already 3 sheets to the wind and he prefers a mug of splashed potato.
Fine. Do you have anything, bottles or anything that you can pour some in that I can take with me?
Here, they tell you what, you done got the getters, then you can just take this off my hands.
And he'll plunk a bottle of splashed potatoes on the counter for you.
Excellent. I appreciate it.
What about that milk?
Milk?
The thing we found in the...
Boy has that, I believe. Dudley has it.
No, I handed it to you over done when
Oh, you gave it to me?
This? Well, here you
Oh, I
go.
probably
Let's-
threw it away.
Oh shit!
What?
Don't give me shit like that.
Throw away the potion.
I can't be trusted. I don't know that it's a potion. You hand me a bottle of something that looks like sour milk, I'm going to discard it.
Yeah.
And that he should identify it later. So we'll say that Embry was wise enough to not leave it in Overdon's hands.
Yeah, it probably got picked up because I did a scan over and
You son of a bitch, Gore.
Hey, I'm just telling you, it was white,
Go
creamy
away with
liquid
mother's milk.
that was found with a bunch of rotting, spoiling food and
Can't you
drink.
get rid of the
Why
plastic
would I
protein?
carry that?
watch it just actually be that color because it's just old starch.
Okay, so while Overdon is making plans to go see if he can learn anything about his uncle from Buttercup's father, Otto,
Yes.
notably, you did not say you were following them to the tavern,
Nope.
nor did you say that you were following them, Duds, inside to the temple,
Nope.
which leaves us wondering precisely what does Otto do?
Otto just kind of like goes wherever the energy takes him. And so I'm just going to be randomly like meandering down the street. And kind of the reason is even though it literally just happened, I kind of want to perk my ears up to hear if any word of our good deeds has started to travel to town to see
Okay.
if you know if anyone's talking about it yet.
Roll me listen.
Okay.
Are you sure that's not search?
Okay, let's see. Listen, here we go.
So when you guys first arrived in town with a large number of horses in tow, and a shining knight with a great sword, wearing the symbols of Adalis that nobody has seen before, after having left for Cena Ranch, tongues wag. It's a small town. Nobody has any facts. Everybody has a different story. They're all muttering to each other that maybe you're horse thieves. And then somebody else is like, no, they're heroes. You saw the knight. They can't be heroes. That man was wearing the armor of Adalis. They are the villains. No, that was just a rumor. But yeah, you guys are definitely making a buzz. And people are starting to question, like, is the getting gotten? Is the gottening gone? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Or are we about to get a whole new batch of gut?
right? Talk of the town, definitely.
Okay, so I wouldn't want to encourage that really one way or another. I just kind of wanted to get a sense of if we had done enough, and if it hadn't started spreading, I would have done something. But since the spark is there, I'll be like, okay, cool. It'll start to catch. So then I will walk back to the cathedral or church or whatever that Dudley walked in to make sure that he's okay.
Okay, so Duds, let's
Yeah.
turn the camera. Last we saw you, you had chased after a little 9-year-old orcish girl who was excited to show you the pool. She will run directly into the sanctuary, and in the middle of the sanctuary, there is a basin, which to her is about the size of a small pool
Oh,
of holy water.
how about to me? Is it still the size of a small pool?
You're not too much bigger than she is, right?
Okay.
So like you kind of like follow her and she goes, watch, and then she'll like
Okay.
put her hands she'll just lay her hands into the holy water and then just splash it at you.
Oh.
Give me a will save.
Wow. Okay.
We'll see. All right. Here we go.
This is when we find out Dudley's actual alignment.
Yeah.
13.
13.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, I rolled the same thing.
Why?
Oh.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
So she flicks you with the water and looks at you.
Okay. Oh, do I have to?
Trying to meditate it out of yourself.
Well, William didn't have to do that. That's not doing anything.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
No. No.
Do I have to sit down, maybe? Or
William sat down a lot.
do I get in the pool?
Big Mama doesn't like that.
But will it help?
I
Is
don't
she
know.
around? I don't want to break the rules.
Big Mama
Never
is
mind.
always watching.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So it didn't work?
No.
I'm still cursed?
I see the,
Yes.
the black veins on my hands.
So I do have to live with it.
Time to put him
And at
down.
that point, William will walk in with Otto behind. And William will say something, and Fanger will be like, No, he doesn't have to live with it, William. William is snickering to himself.
What?
William will just like say something about that, like in motion to the water, and then like motion to the pews, and then he'll motion to the big glass stained window. And Fanger is like, well, that's a whole lot of magic. I don't know what he's saying. I'm sorry.
Okay, I can't understand him either.
But William also he did a lot of lying down like this, and Fanger will just immediately just like lie down on the floor.
Oh,
I think at GTA. Okay.
all right.
And I'm gonna carefully lie down on my back and look up at the ceiling and at the stained glass window.
All right, now what?
William is like walking past, and he says something, and Fanger says, William says to stay right there. It's working.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna try to not. I'll try to not breathe.
William will like look at the halfling and then like look at Otto,
Well,
and he'll reach underneath, like he'll reach into a cupboard that's like on the back of the stage that's cleverly disguised to not look like a cupboard. It looks like it's part of the paneling in the back wall, and he'll pull out a small vial of perfectly clear liquid. And he talks, and Fanger starts translating, and Fanger says, he says, hold very, very still.
keep holding your breath. You're doing good.
And like while she's not looking, William is looking directly at Otto, like, yeah, keep that up, yeah. Like play along, right? He's motioning to play along.
Oh, yeah. Keep holding your breath. You're almost there. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. I don't think anyone noticed that. You're good. That didn't break the spell, did it?
And he'll like he shrugs like he doesn't know, and he unscrews the top of the vial.
Dudley. We'll see. I guess this could be really massively bad.
And then he kind of like starts like he's about to pour the potion, but her mouth is closed, and he's looking at you like, well, are you gonna solve this?
Open your mouth, Dudley. No.
Dudley.
Huh?
And then you're about to inhale, but you get a splash of water on your face. And as you're
Some
like
goes into
coughing,
my lungs.
inhaled this potion.
Now you have pneumonia.
So you get into this huge coughing fit.
Okay.
William will dust off his hands, and he says something, and Fanger says, oh my god, you did it! It worked! Look, it's gone!
What?
I look at my hands.
It's gone.
Wow, that was almost not worth it. I almost died.
And William will say something with a very serious tone, and Fanger says, a brush with death is a very dark thing.
Why am I whispering? Why are you whispering this?
Happening. Am I evil?
What?
What? Are you?
God, I wish I was there.
Are you still Dudley?
I mean, you did cast like an evil spell downstairs.
I think so. But I have a new name now, though.
Oh, your new name.
Duds, eater of pie.
And you think that deduces evil in some way?
I'm not sure.
Well, I can be pretty sure that. I don't think it does.
William pats Otto on the shoulder,
Oh, no.
says something, and Fanger translates and says,
It is not the eating of the pie that makes you evil. It is why
it?
you eat the pie.
Oh no, I eat it because usually it's delicious.
Oh, the most evil of reasons.
Never eat pies for the wrong reasons, he says.
What's the correct way?
He doesn't know he hates pie.
Listen, Listen, I know there's something in my past that I did wrong, and I try not to think of it. Does it make me evil if I did something wrong in the past?
Why did you do it?
I was hungry.
Wait. Are you just still talking about eating the pie?
No.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Nothing. I don't want to talk about it.
We are in a place of holiness. If not now, there's no better time to speak. Release your sins, Dudley. Cleanse your spirit and soul.
It was when I had left the Adventurers Guild. I was all alone, you see, and I was scared, and I was wandering, and I saw this group of people, and they were sleeping. They looked like good people, but they had a campfire, and there was some stew over the campfire.
Oh, phew.
Yeah, that was gonna go real bad. So you're only worried because you ate some stew to survive?
It was just one bowl, and now I regret it. I shouldn't have done it. They were good people.
Friend, I'll look at the person who just performed the ritual. Are you able to release the burden of past transgressions from my friend here?
she translates, like she's been translating the whole time, and William will like look Dudley up and down very serious, like.
And as they kind of mentioned to play along with me before, I kind of give the same look back.
Yeah. And he says something and then just like immediately turns and walks into the back room. Like his posture says like no, right? Like that's what gets sent immediately. And then Fang will be like,
I shouldn't have shared this.
He says to follow him into the secret room.
Oh, is this it for me?
Don't worry, Dudley. I'll protect you.
I don't think they understand. This has been the biggest burden on my life.
Well, let's. You know what though? If it's your time, then it is your time.
Yeah,
What time isn't it? I'm gonna follow them into the secret.
So you follow him, right? And he leads you into an actual secret room.
Ooh.
Like he takes you down a hallway, right? And everybody can follow. He's not like stopping anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he'll walk and he'll place his hand on a wall in 3 separate spaces, and a holy circle will appear underneath his hand each time he touches the wall, and each time it'll play a note. Do, do, do. And then the wall will kind of like lower itself magically into the floor, and he'll enter where his room that you had left him in was very Spartan. And it was only what a warrior would need. This is like the mother lode of everything he would need to gear up before a mission. You know, like in Men in Black, the scene where like they turn the thermometer and like there's all the guns. Like this is like all the holy armaments, right?
Whoa.
And there's shelves with like
Get the
poison,
holy hand
books,
grenade.
scrolls,
Get it.
all kinds of stuff. And he will pick up a small vial of red liquid.
So the noisy cricket of the choices. If we're going with the Men in Black.
Yeah, I want Dudley to get the holy hand grenade of Antioch for us.
And he'll motion to Dudley and then points for him to stand in like there's a holy circle on the ground. It looks like some sort of like a devil trap.
Okay, I'm gonna turn back to Otto and be like,
It's time to pay for what I've done.
Yes, the time for penance has arrived.
Okay.
I slowly.
If you don't make it, do you want me to scatter your badges amongst the sea or something?
Oh, bury it with me.
Okay. I didn't know. I just wanted to get that out. I'm
Some
sure
people want their badges scattered through the ocean.
amongst the sea. I don't know. I just thought it should be addressed before who knows what happens next.
Watch him actually kill Dudley. And we've all been like,
I'm just dubious about the fact that there's a priest taking a young boy into a back room in the first place. I'm just saying, the whole thing smells funny to me.
he understands that even though he's doing this, all the other people around are just going to be okay with it.
And Otto's gonna watch.
Yeah, because I won't do anything for whatever reason.
Okay.
Otto's going to come out scarred for
Stand
life.
up straight, chin up, deep breaths, and I take a step into the red circle.
And so you step into the red circle, right? And he holds the potion out, and he takes the cork out, and the red liquid, like once it comes in contact with the air, it actually starts to spill like that, it starts to spill like dry ice out the top, but the dry ice is the blood red, and he hands it to you. And he takes both of your little hands, and he makes certain you're holding it in front of yourself as if you were praying into the potion, right?
Okay.
And then he says something, and Fanger says, "You are to confess your sins over and over quietly while he performs the rite."
Okay. I stole a bowl of soup.
I'm gonna keep saying that.
And as you start to, I stole a bowl of soup. I stole a bowl of soup. I stole a bowl of soup. He pulls a tome off of the shelf. Now, Otto, you can tell that tome is like, it's a tome of like blade lore or like some sort of, it's actually, no, you are a studier of the ways of the blade.
I am.
So he pulls a tome from of techniques from the White Raven School. So this is not like but it looks like a holy tome. And he just like flips it open to a page, looks at it, and then turns the page again and makes this, I found it, right? And he puts his finger on it, and he just starts murmuring chants that sound holy-ish, but you're not certain because you don't speak half-elven, and Fanger is like, this is magic, I don't understand, don't stop. And he'll start to like pace a circle around as he mumbo-jumbos his way through this book.
You see two,
and he starts to get louder and louder. He starts to take on like the countenance of a fire and brimstone preacher, right? And finally, he reaches the pinnacle of his enthusiasm, and he claps the book shut, and he throws his hand up high, and he calls upon Paylor, and the potion will shatter in her hands as he casts some sort of like minor like prestidigitation effect, and the blood will just all over you.
I'm sorry.
And then he turns and he says something, and Fanger says, "Are you still alive?
Are you still alive?
Am I still alive?
It looks like it.
Says something. The gods have forgiven
Yeah.
you."
Duds!
Your record has been expunged.
His record has been expunged.
I feel taller.
You look taller.
Yeah, you have grown with forgiveness.
I feel like this whole time I was hunched over with this burden, and now wow, blood all over my face though.
And he says something, and Fanger says, "In his secret brotherhood, in service of Paylor, many dark deeds are committed, and many of his brethren have not come out of this ritual alive, as Paylor has deemed their sins so great that their lives are forfeit. Only the worthy can survive this, and those that do have been washed in the blood of the Father."
Wow. So I am worthy.
Yeah, you got father blood all over you.
I'm gonna frown. Like, not my father's blood, right? Not my father's blood.
No.
Mine.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping it wasn't at least.
Right. So William, Otto can tell because William is specifically pacing behind her for the behind him for the dramatic effect, right, of having like that looming presence behind you. But Otto is capable of seeing that William is starting to have a hard time keeping it together right now because he can't believe that this went this far and nobody has called him on this, right? So he will then walk dramatically towards the door and he will put his hand on Otto's shoulder and he will mutter something, right? And then he will leave. And Fanger will be like, he said, "Thank you, honorary brother, for your help in this matter. Speak to no one of this secret rite."
Oh, okay, but I'm an honorary brother. Like, is that like a lifetime thing, or is this like a one-off?
I don't know. I've never been a brother.
Wait, so I'm a brother and you're not?
I mean, I would imagine I would be a sister, but I'm not. So I don't know.
Oh, I'm so sorry, my friend. That's so terrible for you. As I try to hold back my laughter. Oh no, I'm devastated for you. I assume you've been doing this your entire life, right?
As far as I can remember.
Oh no!
Let me just tip a little more salt in those wounds.
Oh, the regret. Oh boy. Oh, I better get out of here. Oh, thank you for helping, my friend. So, thank you for everything. Duds, I believe it's time to make our grand exit.
And she will take your hands and she says, "Thank you, brother Otto."
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm gonna follow Otto out.
So, in your dealings with Buttercup's father, Duds and Otto aren't anywhere nearby, and as you're like standing there with a bottle and some horses, he'll notice you. Right? And over the course of the conversation that you have with him, you will realize that maybe sending Otto would have been a very bad idea.
Specifically, why?
Because he's very
protective of his
daughter.
That was my assumptions.
And he's also very, very large.
He is full orcish, right?
Buttercup's father is a human.
Okay.
Grok is the only orc.
Okay. I thought Buttercup was half orc or something. I don't know why I thought Buttercup was orcish.
So, roll me gather information.
Alrighty.
To see if there is anything useful.
Yeah, this is a thing I suck at.
If you roll well, you'll learn something useful. If you roll poorly, there will have been nothing to learn.
10.
A 10. So what you will learn from him is that the best place to get information is not from him, but from the blacksmith down the road. The blacksmith down the road will tell you that he never wants to do business with his asshole again. First off, his donkey was a prick. Second off, he was just as bad as the donkey. However, he careened over there and crashed at their house. And like, it's this bad loop of like the hangover has happened, but eventually you will get around to the point where somebody actually witnessed him talking to the donkey and asking the donkey where to go next, nodding to the donkey as if it had told him something.
He was drunk.
and heading north, arguing about whether or not they should stop at the Crimson House.
Okay.
With the donkey.
Well, I'm giving the orc, or not the orc, Buttercup's father, I'm going to give him the ale, going to give him one of the horses. As recompense for his busted door. And thank him for his time. I'm not going to mention anything about the budding relationship between his young daughter and a member of our company at all.
Advice. Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm going to tell him no. I'm going to tell him exactly where he can find him too. And then I'll sit back with an ale and watch him whip his ass. No, I'm not going to mention anything.
Somehow I think Otto would do cool backflips and not get hurt. That's what I think would happen.
Yeah.
Just from what I've seen before.
No, we will mention none of this.
At this point, you have Aubrey is resting in the church, under the care of Fanger, William, who has made good friends with Otto at this point, having had the chance to not break his straight face as he fucked with Dudley in a way that left Dudley feeling strangely better.
That's how you pull pranks, you know?
That's the best use of prestidigitation I have ever come up with in the history of my role playing. And then that's the only thing left to do here is the mystery of Aubrey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you left. Aubrey is going to take some time, and Big Mama, who is emphasis on big. Big Mama has a very she's a very jolly woman. She's a very jolly woman with a very, very deep voice. She's very round. And once you finally meet her, you will realize why they call her Big Mama. And she will mother hen and smother the crap out of Aubrey as she rummages around the holy tomes looking for whatever she can use to help alleviate him of his curse. And what we'll do is we'll pick up next session.
Perfect.
On the next day when Aubrey is feeling much better under the loving care of Big Mama.
Alrighty, that's a pretty good place to wrap it up. Hi there, I'm Gorbad, normally the resident dungeon master here on How We Roll, but for this particular campaign, I'm going to be taking a seat on the other side of the table to become a player. If you'd like to keep up with all things How We Roll, you can follow us on Twitter at How We Roll, check us out on Facebook at How We Roll, and you can also follow us on YouTube, and you've guessed it, at How We Roll. We also have a website, www.howweroll.com. Now, if you want to keep up with me personally, you can follow me on Twitter at Gorbad, and don't forget to check out my blog, www.thedmblog.com, for all things Dungeons & Dragons related, both for players and DMs alike. We will see you next time.
Sup, I'm Evil Squeegee, they, them, and as you can tell by now, Gorbad has made the mistake of letting me Dungeon Master a campaign on his channel. If you want to follow me on my channel, where I make the mistake of letting me Dungeon Master games on my channel, you can find that at twitch.tv/evil-squeegee. If you want to follow me on Twitter, at twitter.com/evil-squeegee, you can find inclusivity rants, gaming rants, rants about rants, and rants.
Is it on? It is. Greetings and well met, my friends. It is I, the great and powerful Thelonious Conch. My good friend the Snuggler has asked me so kindly to step in. If you want to keep up with what he's doing in the world, you can follow him at two places. The first is on Twitter at MattySweetTweet. And the second, of course, is Instagram, where you can follow him at MattyQuickPick. And I see what he did there. Clever boy. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and don't forget the lavender.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of How We Roll. My name's Jane, and you can follow me on Twitter at Jane on Twitch with a 0, not an O. I also do stream like 3 times a week now, so you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/JaneIvana. What do you gotta say, Norman? Sorry. Peace, suckers.
Hey y'all, Shagget here. I play various characters on How We Roll. This is the first campaign where Gorbad is a player, and I very much would like to enact my player vengeance on him, since he's usually the DM and I can't do that really, because he'll just, wish it away and make it irrelevant. Follow me on Twitter at Aneb_Convos, and we can start a dialogue to find out the creative, awesome means that my character will get his character killed.
Because isn't that what every player wants to do? I think so.
Hi, it's me, Satchmo. Claire, how we roll? You follow me. It's Satchmo.